Hey everybody, so welcome back to the In Layman Terms podcast, no fluff, just facts. And I want to start by saying, disclaimer, this is an amazing friend, first of all. We've done a ton of business together, but I consider you a friend.
Of course.
And I appreciate that. So this is Colleen Pacheco, Security Insurance Group. She's the insurance guru. If people don't know her, they should in this business, and just with your regular homes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Always.
It's my second time here. So, yes, I am with Secured Insurance Group and also my own podcast, which is Chats with Colleen. And I'm going to flip the script today for Tom since he talks all the time. So now I'm going to let him talk, but I'm going to ask some questions about a topic.
I'm on the hot seat.
Yeah, you're on the hot seat, but I am too, so it's okay. But I'm going to ask you some questions about mindset, because I know personally and professionally I've been struggling with my mindset, my focus, and I know you're really good at that. So I know I can trust you with providing that to me and to everybody else.
That is my favorite business topic, because it all starts with your mindset. If you have what I call stinking thinking, that's how everything else will look after it. And when I coach people, I start with mindset. They're like, hey, I want to do real estate. Stop. Building block is this. If you believe you can do real estate, you'll do real estate. If you believe you can't do anything.
Yeah, and I read something, somebody posted yesterday that it's 90% mindset and then 10% everything else.
Yeah, because it's just believing that no matter what, I'm going to get through it. There's like a thing I believe in. It's like, it starts with mindset, but it's being committed. If you're committed to whatever you're going to do, you might not know what to do or how to do it, but you're committed, you'll figure it out. So mindset is the commitment in life. If you can change how you think if it's wrong, you'll be fine. But if you keep thinking that this is how it has to be, I'm stuck, like a lot of people believe, you're going to be stuck forever.
So how would you say, or what is a specific moment in your life where your mindset was really challenged that's helped you or hurt you?
Well, let's just start with how it changed me. So I moved here 2014 again, and I was very stuck in my ways. You couldn't tell me anything. I was one of those people. I was not open-minded, to say the least. And you probably knew me, like you knew me at the journey, so I was starting to change. A family friend, she has a practice. She's not a shrink, but a psychologist and all those things. So she had a place in Winter Haven. I was living in Davenport. And knowing that if she just wanted to get into my brain directly, I would have been like, forget it. But she had a center next door where she help people who were, needed food or clothes, and she was big into that. So she said, will you help me do this? And I've known her for forever. So you asked my help, and this is like another mom to me, I'm coming. And then it was like a drip campaign in my ear. And, her son had passed away, and she started just dripping in my head because I grew up in a very challenging home life. My dad was a survivor, an alcoholic. It wasn't the best life. And I didn't believe in any of that psychobabble, but as her drip campaign for 6 months, not realizing what she was doing because she's like the whisperer in the ear, then she puts a book in front of me, and it shows the effects of childhood trauma on children later in life. And it wasn't my photo in the middle of this cycle, but it was me, because I would do incredibly well and explode. And it was like the pattern. And then because she put that book after 6 months and not day one, we could have a talk. Because I was open-minded to, when I looked at that, if she showed me that book 6 months ago, we were closed and walked out. That's crazy. But 6 months into it, and that started it, where her and I started to have talks, and we started to fix things. Because I never forgave my dad. because that mind was closed. Look, my favorite job right now is being a dad. But I never wanted to be a dad, because of how my dad was. She changed that. I didn't have to be that way. Like, oh, I thought I did, right? Because you grew up that way. This is what it was. And so, having that person and then changing how I thought or started to. It's still, every day, still to this day, do I practice working on mindset in some way, shape, or form.
Well, it's definitely I mean, it's a work in progress. I don't think you can just, every day is probably challenging. And then things that come up within your business or your home life or
Absolutely.
everything, driving on the road.
That's why I have a driver out there, my son, right? Challenging right there itself.
It is challenging when these teenagers drive, but it's also helpful because you
Yes.
can concentrate on other things.
I work. I work. But you know how much I was told to get a driver, and then once I really worked at getting one and using it, how much more productive I am in the car and safe, because if not, I'm
Correct.
one-handed like this with the phone, right?
Me being the queen of safety, that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. How would you say that your change in your mindset has played a role in you launching your mobile home, manufactured home company and it being so successful?
Well, thank you for calling it successful. It's a work in progress every day.
Every day.
You know, because I thought I could do it. I didn't think anything other than we're going to pivot, because we have to. Even what we're doing, we'll be in this business and it's still morphing and changing. You have to have that ability to be very open-minded. You know, you hear the saying, now it's the time to think outside the box. You should think that way the whole time.
Right.
If you don't have a box, then you have a wide open vision. Why are you only using that when you're in trouble? You know, I believe in this thing, it's called a funnel of opportunity. In the beginning of whatever opportunity you have, it's wide. But then as you go through it, it gets narrower. And because your options and your choices get removed as you go further along. If you start off the beginning looking big picture screen, you'll see more. And that gives you the ability to make better choices. It all goes back to open-minded, thinking you're going to do it, committing to it. A lot of people fail in two places. They either fail to start or halfway through they quit.
Because it becomes too hard.
Too hard.
Or too challenging.
But you're halfway through. Do you want to get, so you're going to go back to the beginning? No, just finish it, right? And that's where people quit, because they get tired. They get, this is hard. I used to be one of those people.
A lot of people are like that. I think a lot of people think it's supposed to be easy. And they forgot.
Oh.
Who ever said that?
So as somebody who I was talented in certain areas, I would only work in those areas. I was good in certain sports, so I stayed only here. Because I'm good. I'm naturally good at it. I didn't have to do work. That's the difference between that old version and me. Now I'm an incredibly hard worker. And real estate, my first year, I thought when I got into this, this is easy. Got my butt kicked. And it just had to change. I had to become the hardest working person in the room more often than not. And I just might as well stay doing that. Because the team sees that. Hey, look what he's doing. Why is he doing that? Because if I'm doing it forever, there's a problem. And so there's a great work ethic in the team that they see that. Because I'm not afraid to go down and do anything.
Yeah, that's
But it's not good if I do it.
Right. That's what I say.
We talk about this all the time. Now, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? I do a lot of stuff I shouldn't do, but
Yes.
because, you can't, it's about finding people that you trust, but them also understanding.
Okay, but you're missing one more part. When you find that person, you still have to teach them
Yeah.
everything. And the time it takes to teach them, we don't always have. But if we don't make that time, they're never going to be what we need
It's
them to
true.
be, right? And you got to remember, when you hire somebody, you are 3 to 6 months away to having them really be effective.
Correct.
So you should never hire when you need them right now. I have an assistant. She's been with me for about a month. And I think by September, October, November, she's going to be really amazing. But we spend at least 3 hours a week working on things. Just her and I, Google Meets, recorded, all that, where she brings questions. Okay, what do we need to work on? And then you go over things, you cover them, you maybe we have to touch on different subjects, but they're her questions. Now we answer them to make her effective, because when she becomes effective, she makes me more effective.
Right. That's
right?
what I struggle with, teaching people to understand what it takes and how they can be effective, which helps me, takes less off me, but then it's also finding people who actually want to do it, who are motivated.
Well, you know what? You put someone in the seat. If it doesn't work out, you put someone in the seat. okay? And we were just talking off camera how I start off with really good expectations.
Yeah.
Okay? We're doing a deal, and before you even sign the contract, you sent the money over. Like, no, sign the contract first, right? But that's friendship. But business has to be different, right? This is a contract, it's a piece of paper. It makes sure we're good. When you hire somebody, the same, okay? I set expectations. This is the role. Now,
Right.
looking at your resume, it says you can do this. But we know resumes are a lie a lot of times. So then I always say, now you're working directly for me every day. I'm going to know if you can't do this. Let's part ways nicely now instead of in a month from now. Can you do all this? Just be up
Upfront.
Now, Jeannie, who you know her. I don't have her in on those meetings because she says I can't say that. Sure, I can. You can't in your role. I can and get away with it. So that's the last interview before they start.
Oh.
Hey, look at this. Are you sure? Perfect. See you Monday, right?
Can you handle it? Yeah, come in Monday. We'll see ya.
Yes.
What mental habits or routines do you do every day or most days to keep you in line and ready to go for the day?
So I call it oxygen mask. You go on a plane, they tell you there's an issue, mask comes down, put yours on before you help other people.
Right.
How can I help my team, my clients, and anybody else if I'm not okay? We forget that all too often. Let me just go and do this, and then we're out of gas and more. So my day starts with, faith first. I roll over on my knees. I thank God for the 24 hours I may have. I'm going to use them to the best of my abilities. And then, whatever words him and I are going to talk. I think people, especially with faith, they think it has to be so dogmatic. No, man, just have a conversation. Hey, dude, listen, this is what it is today, right? He just wants to hear. It doesn't have to be so crazy. Put the words up. If it's only 2 seconds some days, because maybe you woke up late for a change, he understands that. Thank him, go on. Then I pray, I read, I stretch, I work out. That's my beginning. If I'm doing all of that correctly, I probably don't even turn on an email till 8 a.m.
Good for you. Yeah.
If that happens, my day's okay. But once you turn on emails and you let the outside world come in, it's like the shiny object. I have to go fix this. No, you don't. Fix yourself first.
Right.
So that is something, my oxygen mask, and also what I put into my brain in the morning. What do you listen to first? So, we live upstairs. I don't bring my phone up. I come downstairs. I put one headset in. I start to do my routine in the morning, but I put on some sort of, it starts with a faith-based motivational channel I listen to, and then I go from there. Because what comes in, right, is what you're going to start thinking about first. And if we let our brain decide, we could be in trouble. Because it could be something, remember yesterday, and it's a negative, right? We don't want that. We just want to start putting positivity in there, because that's where our brain's going to be thinking. It's so simple. I remember before all this, I used to get up and walk my dog, and I'd be mad at stuff from the day before, the week before, and still be mad.
Right.
And I'm arguing with people in my brain, and they argue way better when I do it for them.
Yeah.
And so once you stop that and inputting positive and that routine, it's good for you. But it's just sticking with it. It doesn't have to be perfect either.
Right. So what's the best way to get rid of those negative, like you said, when you're still arguing with something that happened 2 weeks ago or yesterday, or you're still mad about it?
Did you talk to the person? For me, I just have a conversation now. Let me just sit down and say, hey, I'm struggling with this.
Okay.
But I give it space. I don't want to talk to them when it's fresh, because maybe I could be reactive. So let me give it space. Not try to think about it, but calm down from the situation. Look at it from a higher perspective down, where we take the emotion out of it.
Right.
I know, just like, I don't know how you do it, but my emails are on the longest possible delay to send so I can take it back.
Oh, I need to learn how to do that. So you're going to have to tell me.
Yeah. And so, because that saved me, but you blank, that's not good.
Or change it and send it to yourself. And then you can review it and think about it when you're like a little bit more rational.
Yeah, just, but with people, if you're arguing in your brain with them, have a time and have a conversation. Send an email. Because we don't always know what's going on there, right? And so I try to ask, hey, I'm struggling with this. Help me understand. Instead of what the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're probably struggling too, but they're just not going to admit it. And say it back.
You know my wife, is that it?
Yep, that could be it. Or it's a woman thing.
That's for sure. No, I'm not going to say that. I'll get killed later.
Right, we're not going to say that, but it's different.
Yes.
Have you ever had a shift or had to shift your mindset in a certain situation to make it work?
Could you clarify that a little bit?
Yeah,
Make it work.
so if you've ever had a challenge come up and like you said, you weren't open-minded, but now you are. Have you ever had to do that like instantaneously? Maybe like what you said, take a time out and then go back?
Every day. So every day there's probably, we run multiple businesses. There's issues every day. And so you can't let them control you though. I try to, so I don't look at my emails like before. My phone doesn't, it has the email app, but it doesn't notify me. I have to go and look.
Right.
I have somebody who looks at them for me. And hey, this needs your attention.
And winds them out.
Okay, but this needs your attention or not. Okay, great. But it also maintains your focus. You know, I work, my home office has multiple screens, and at one point, I would always have emails up, and I wasn't as clear because that shiny object. So now we take that away. If the situation arises that I have to be involved in right then and there, okay, but I'm still not going to jump on it so quick anymore. I need to understand what's going on first and not just be reactive. I'm really good at being reactive, but that's not good for the business, the company in general. And then for me, you know, I have a good team, and I call them my buffers. They, in between me and some, not problems, but they'll translate my words better, okay? Because it's not going to be WTF with them, because they're women, first of all, so I won't say that to them. But then how they translate it to somebody else, they buffer
It's a little bit.
my strong personality. How's that?
Softer.
Yes. Or they'll say, you're going to say that? I'm like, does it sound that bad? They're like, yeah.
I probably need a buffer, but I know what you mean.
You and me are kind of like similar in certain ways, like, but you know, there's a lot of BS that goes around, and we have to deal with it too much. Okay.
So I just come out and say it. I'm a little not buffered, I guess, in some sense. I'm just a little bold, but
What's wrong with that? Like,
there's really nothing wrong with
No.
it, but a lot of people are shocked sometimes when you have to be and they don't
Oh, so we don't beat around the bush and waste time. I'm sorry.
They don't
Your
really
feelings
have
got hurt. Oh, okay.
time for that.
Yeah, time, right? And because those are people who are going to eat your time away. That's why you got to have somebody like talking to those people.
They'll eat your time away and eat your life. What could you give like a couple of tips for somebody who wants to get started in working on their mindset and they don't really like know how to do it? Would you recommend a book?
Great book to start with is Mind Shift. It's one of my favorites. But also there's a book called The Gap in the Gain. And that was a life-changing book, because think of life. We always look at the gap, the down parts. We never give ourselves credit for, look at all we've done. Look at all I've done in real estate. And if I don't stop and look, I never give myself credit for it. I only look at, oh, that was bad.
Right.
You know, I can say when there was a week, I think it was April of last year, 6 closings, 6 sales in 1 week.
Wow.
I only sold 3 houses my first year, and was not profitable either. So the 6th home didn't close that week, and I was upset. Like, what? So I'm mad. It was a Friday. I had a date night with my daughter, daddy-daughter. I wasn't present for that because I was mad about that 6th closing that didn't happen on that Friday.
But the 5 others did.
I didn't even look at those. That 6 was killing me. I wasn't present for her. That bothered me. I went to sleep angry. I woke up angry. I prayed on it. Go downstairs, office, stretch. I turn around. The book, Gap and Gain, is glowing, basically. I'm like, there's my answer. I'm looking at, I didn't close number 6, but I'm not even counting number 1 through 5.
Right.
And that's really a good analogy with our lives, too. We only look at the gap, not all the gains. We need to remember we've probably done a lot, all of us, that we're not giving ourselves credit for. Now, we all know the people who will throw a parade for just opening a milk bottle, too. We're not that either, but we've done good things. We need to remember that. And that 6th one, it closed Monday morning, by the way.
So you started the week out right.
But, I was going to let it ruin my week. In fact, you know what? I remember that weekend. I went to that REI thing on Saturday. I heard Frank Hopkins speak. Great speaker that morning. And then my wife took pity on me, let me go to a pool by myself as an adult for the day. Turned out really well. Okay, but you have to look at things like, wow, look at all we've done, and this one is a problem. It's like if you got a 99 on your test, are you good? You're really good. But that one's going to kill you? We need to make sure we're looking at it in the right lens and perspective.
Which is very true for a lot of things.
Yeah, if you were 90 out of 100, you're really good.
I would be happy with that.
I know. We need to remember that part. A lot. We don't do that enough, I'm sure.
Yeah, we all do. We beat ourselves up. I know that.
Ooh, there you go. That's the word exactly.
I beat myself up a lot of stuff. So we definitely need to tag those 2 books in this release.
Absolutely. But let's stop and go with what you just said. Beat yourself up. So I used to be so guilty of that. I used to still beat myself up for stupid things 30 years ago.
Right.
Ron Duvall stopped me with that. Why are you still doing that? Because he's like my dad. And so that first year we did those flips, we hung out every day. The best dad-son relationship I've ever had. And he helped me on that, where I was like, I could stop worrying about, oh my God, I did that dumb thing in college. Nobody remembers but you.
Right.
And humans have a great memory when they want to. And we remember things that have no really value but beating ourselves up with. And when you can lock that away and get rid of it, change comes really quick. Because you're not going to go back to the old, look at what I did there. Who cares? It's 30 years. No one remembers.
Right.
No one remembers but you.
No one remembers, but you do. But then I've had it happen sometimes that I didn't think anybody remembers, right? Or they were going to bring it up, but then that one person loves to bring up that thing that didn't work out for you. Or when you said this, it's them.
Right?
That's
Off
them.
the shoulder. That's the, you've heard of imposter theory. So today is the best version of me till tomorrow. People know this version. They don't know the version from 30 years ago who partied, went crazy, and yada, yada, yada. We do. So we look at ourselves in that entire totality. Not this version. We hold this stuff here. It's this guy, this woman today, the best version of us until tomorrow's version. That's who we should be looking at because that's who people see. Okay? And we need to remember that person doesn't really exist anymore unless you want them to.
Right. We all change and evolve and grow as we get older. And the stuff we did when we were in high school or college, it's part of what.
Or your late 20s
made
in
us.
Miami, right? Hey, when you're 54, you can forget those.
Well, that was a long time ago. How do you deal with negativity, like affecting your mindset? And it may not be negative, every day we have some negative stuff, bad things happen, this problem, that. But I'm talking about negative people who you don't know or who you do know, who maybe make shiesty comments, jabs. Ignore.
Try to, if you can. Sometimes you have to stop and say, hey, look, right? Because in a professional setting, we were just talking about this. I had to make things, hey, I know this was said, but let me show you the words, the emails, the texts. We do it all in writing. Because people can say whatever they want to, but I have words or a contract that say differently. This is the facts. Because we can say, hey, I'm Superman and I'm flying. Doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
And when it comes to, look, how many people on Facebook, all those places just shoot their arrows because they got nothing better to do. It's not even me answering, it's somebody in the office, okay? Keep going because they're building our algorithm, first of all. Come on, keep saying negative stuff. Like
Anything's better than nothing.
anything's better than nothing. And then we have somebody reply because we want the algorithm. But why are they shooting? Maybe ask a question. Okay, I had a local investor I think this was the best comment and it's a bad comment. He put, ready for this, the shrimp and the peanut emoji for me. Called me shrimp nuts, right? And I was like, oh, that's so funny. I laughed at it. And the girl was like, what do you want me to say? I'm like, I got this. So he uses his own name on TikTok like I do. Looked him up. He closed or did 6 transactions last year. I said, oh, that's amazing. You did 6 transactions in 2024. I did 6 in December. If you need help, let me know. Signed it, shrimp and nut. Reached out to him, met him at a couple meetups, and I've helped him along the way. Okay? I just, it could have gone either way, but I shot back, not what I would have said, say, a couple of years earlier, because I can be really slick. But that's one occasion, right? That worked positive. It doesn't always work that way. But, either you forget about it, you see if you can overcome it, and then you're done, right? It doesn't matter. Why would that matter? Like, they're taking time to, like, comment negatively. We know it's not true. So let's either figure it out or walk away. That's a grown-up thing to do, right?
Yeah, it is.
Finally getting there.
Grown-up thing, we're getting there. What one mindset trap that you fell into earlier in your life that held you back?
Oh, constantly living my life in the gap, in the failures. You got to be a baseball Hall of Famer mentality. That means as a hitter, if I'm successful 3 out of 10 times, and I'm a 300 hitter, I go to the Hall of Fame probably. We are going to fail in life, in business, way more than we succeed, because how many failures did it take to create your business today?
A lot.
Huh?
A lot.
Yeah. So then if you counted them out, you'd probably be under 500. So you're like, oh, I only made it 40% of the time. That's because you keep failing to win. Like how many times, what was it? The light bulb, right? 1,000 times?
Something like that, yeah.
1,000 times? Okay. Got to have that mentality. Because everything is first of all, business is hard. We don't have $1 billion help behind us, right? We're scratching and clawing to get here. But what I found, the people here are worth it. The hard workers. I've met so many people in the last year who, the same mentality, okay? They put all the work in. They're not look at me, all this crap, right? And that's a good circle to be in. But they all struggled with the same thing, living in this gap mentality. Mm-hmm. And once you can overcome that and you realize, hey, you know what, we're kind of doing more good than bad, okay, forget it and move on. That's the trap that, like I told you, that book. I read that book in January. January is old book month to me. When I start my new year, there's 5 or 6 books that I read that month. The 7 Habits, Atomic Habits, The Gap in the Gain. I'm reinforcing these principles in my life, okay? And I read them once a year, just so I don't lose focus on them.
Do you read books or do you play audiobooks?
Both.
You do both?
So I will pick different things up.
Different ways.
Different ways. So I read and I listen to them at different times. Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy. I always find different things that I missed.
It's true.
Yeah, because you hear and process that one way, and then you read and process another way. I didn't know that. I just figured it was the same. But doing it that way, I get way more out of it. And then I'll go back and read a book again without a problem. Listen to it again. If I was reading one book, I was reading something about a Dan Martell book, and I'm like, I don't remember that in the book. Went back and I read it again to find it. Started front to back just to read. I'm like, oh yeah, it's here. How did I miss that? It's like 4 or 5 pages. It was really a good topic, and went back and read it.
I'm not the best at reading books, so I do audiobooks.
Okay, it's still a book.
But I have to keep replaying it because I'm, distracted, like you said, and then you miss things. It's like watching a show. You just got to go back and do it a couple times.
See, that's what I have with the audiobooks, and I have to be careful when I'm doing it. Because I can get so distracted. Like, I don't do it when driving anymore unless it's on a highway long.
Long driving.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to turn my phone off too, because I don't want that problem.
Right.
I want to just listen, and then I'll also try to make it very segmented. I'm going to listen to 12 minutes, this part right here, because I found that I can't listen and really download it personally.
No.
If I'm going to do like some people can do the whole book in like one sitting. I can't.
I don't know how they would have time for that if it's like a 5-hour book. Unless they're on a plane or something.
And I read it at 1.3 speed now.
Oh.
Yeah, someone had taught me that and said, start practicing that. I have ADD anyway, so faster I probably get more out of it. Mm-hmm. But you can read it faster or listen to it faster. When I was growing up, they had a speed reading class in middle school. And I have to slow down to read now. So what I do is I have to say the words. If not, I go right back to speed reading and I don't retain anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that because then I'm not really taking in the info.
Only the highlights.
Yeah.
So now when I'm reading, I'm saying the words that slows me down.
So it can sink in. Mm-hmm. Would you recommend somebody getting a life coach or a mentor?
Oh, absolutely. I don't, life coach? Okay.
I think it's similar.
I mean, I have coaches. I have several, had several, and they'll always be there because if you're going to grow, you need help. But, I get people reach out to coach me all the time. And then the first question is, what would you coach me in? And so far, only one has ever had the information there. Like they knew what I do. They looked everything. That person I had a conversation with didn't hire them because I already had someone in that seat, but they were prepared. People reach out on like Facebook, all social media. Hey, we're this. Mm-hmm. I never heard of you. It doesn't mean I don't know you. It's not. But if you're not going to research who I am before you offer to coach me, what would you coach me in then?
Right.
You're quick to tell me how much it's going to cost, but you don't even know what I do.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, click. That's a dead conversation. That's just, that's the world we live in, though. Look, I coach people. I think this year, I fired half my clients 1 month. Mm. Not that they weren't paying.
They weren't listening?
Well, I coach certain things. I'm not your psychologist. Okay, if you just want to come and cry, go hire somebody else. If you're not going to be proactive and use my time correctly, it's not a good fit.
But you're not a professional to provide them those types of services.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be anyway.
No.
But that's not my. But if all you want to do is tell me how bad things are, yeah. And I just made it to where it's like, even though I'm getting paid, it's not worth my time. I can do other things. Okay, and so we cut it like I think I fired 4 or 5, right? And it was just they weren't being proactive. They weren't doing the action. They should have been so far ahead. And then even with the ones now, I'm not taking on new at the moment because of things we're doing, but action items. If they're not done for next week or next meeting, we're not going to meet. This is what you have to do to have the next meeting. If you don't do it, let me know when you're ready. Because what's the point of it then? It's never great action items. I was telling you, I have one client who I've taken him so far. Now I'm going to hand him off to somebody else. Because what they do isn't what I do as a main focus. Mm-hmm. I want the best for him. I'm going to introduce him to someone who does that part of real estate so much better than me. Okay, I lose money, but it's best for him. I'm like, dude, you don't need me anymore. Yeah, but no. Listen, I've got you the systems. You're thinking so much better. But this next step, if you're going to stay here, you need to be here. And I'll introduce you to him because he couldn't get a hold of him. Oh, yeah, not a problem. I'll walk into his office with you. So this week, I think it's Thursday or next Thursday, okay? Because that's what's best for him.
Right. Sometimes we have to do what's best for our clients.
We should, all the time.
I do it all the time.
And I told him, hey, it's not like you can't call me to reach out and hang out, but you're doing amazing. When I took a month off, he didn't falter because he's done everything over these 2 years. It was a partnership that was problematic. It split up. He's 26, okay? He reminds me a lot of myself at that age a couple years ago. And he's made just a complete shift. And he's followed all the directions now. He's done everything as he's supposed to do. He has a business today that's profitable because we built a system. This is how we do it. This is, I know a little bit about real estate. Okay, hey, I can do this with you. Perfect. But now you want to go this over here. Let me introduce you. He's like, I tried reaching out. I couldn't get a hold of him. Yeah, I kind of know him. We'll just walk into his office. He'll be fine. We'll just sit in his desk for a while. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Come on, let's go. So I already called over there to Anthony and said I'm coming in with somebody. That's what's best for everybody.
Mm-hmm. To help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have a sensitive question.
Ooh.
Since you work with your wife, I know how challenging is that, and how do you make it work? We're
not working together anymore soon, we decided, right? Because it's bad for our relationship. Mm-hmm. So my first year, I have a trucking service. I want to go do real estate. My wife tells me, now, we weren't doing as well financially. We take care of my mom, help her mom and dad. Just had a baby, got a new house. We own 2 houses in our own development. We didn't want to, but we do, right? And I say, I want to go do something else. And she says, go do what makes you happy. Never heard that one before. But, so the first year, I told you, sold 3 houses, made $4,000 total, not profit, total. Not a good place. By the second year completion, I retired her. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. She never had that opportunity. Great. And then 2 years went by, and she was like, I want to come to work. And I'm like, where? And she's like, well, with you. And I'm like, why? And it's been, my wife's an amazing person. You've talked to her. She's super nice. Not to me all the time, but everybody says that. But it's not good for the relationship because we're different. There has to be accountability. And we weren't talking anymore. Like, we did all this to have this life, and it's not there anymore. So we sat down just a few weeks ago, and that's what we decided. So what she's going to do is, I don't know if you've seen her. My wife is amazingly crafty. Now, she's not profitable to be crafty because it's expensive, but they are amazing. She's going to work, volunteer at the kids' school. They go to that private Christian academy. And then one of the nonprofit organizations in Lake County, we are one of their major sponsors. She's going to go volunteer there.
Nice. And
actually see how best they can be helped. Okay? And I thought that had nothing to do with me thinking that. She did. And I was like, oh, because now you're going to see where the resources go and how best we can help. I love that, right? Way better than real estate. She doesn't love it. You know, you have to have a love for what you do. I believe. So for me, I can work the way I work because I love what I do. She didn't love property management. No one should love property management. Like property management, wholesaling, right? And so, but I couldn't hold her accountable either. I can't have that. I need someone there who I can fire when they don't do their job. And you can't fire your wife. Well, I can. I love her. We're going to stay married, so we had to figure it out, right? So that's the sensitive topic. We haven't announced it yet, you know, but probably we're transitioning now.
And I didn't even know that, so sorry, Samantha.
No, it's good. She's happier. We talk. We're going away. Look, our friends are having their renewal vows tomorrow, but we're going away today till Monday.
Nice.
And we're not bringing the kids. We're not bringing nobody, right? Which is not something we normally do, okay? Because, you know, I'm 54. She's 39, I'll say, right? She's going to wash 39, right? I'm good.
We don't say anything higher than that.
Yeah, no. She's 39. But we want, you know, the kids are going to be gone one day, and what's left of the relationship? Okay, we worked so hard for this, we can't let it spoil something else because, you know, when you're husband and wife and you're working together, a bitterness can happen if you're fighting over work.
Right.
And it was, so we stopped it. But it took, it was a good conversation.
Good.
So, yeah. Announcement, there you go.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I don't recommend it. It was recommended for us not to do it. And we tried.
You tried it out.
2 years, almost 22 months. Done.
Well, when I dealt with Samantha, she was always highly professional and great.
Everyone loves her.
Yeah.
She is, even the tenants love her because she does everything she shouldn't do for them, right?
Oh, well, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Because you know what? She has a huge heart. Okay? But there are rules to follow in business, too.
Yeah.
And when all else fails, she knows I'll do it for her. If somebody was sitting in her seat and didn't do the role, well, they're going to be work all weekend to finish their job. My wife's going to be like, I'm good. Because she knows I'll do it, right? Okay. So we have figured it all out now.
That's good.
Yeah.
What she's going to do is going to be great.
I think so for her, too, because she'll be happier. And if you're going to, like, you love what you do?
I like what I do. I like helping people, so yes.
Okay, there you go. And you're amazing at it, right? And if you can create the love out of it, like we create affordable housing in this really hard price range, and most of those people probably don't have the same house if we don't do it for them, right?
Right.
Even with the mortgage company, I make zero off it right now. I give every dollar back. That's why I did it. And so, but I love what I do. I create home ownership, which is hard in America right now. The American dream is like slipping away for most people.
Yeah.
So I love that. Having never created anything until real estate, it just changed how I look at things. So I could work 100-hour weeks, and I've done it without a problem because I love it. if you don't love it, how do you do that then? I'm not saying do it all the time either, but there's always going to be a time where you need to do it.
Right.
And if you don't have a love for it, if it's just a paycheck, it's not worth it. I worked for 2 years without a paycheck here. Okay, to get to the building blocks of it, because that's what had to happen.
Right.
But I knew I could win at this one day. I just didn't know how yet back then.
It does take time.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Nothing's immediate. That's what
And
people
then
have
whatever
to
you're doing
remember.
today is going to be a little bit different tomorrow.
It's going to be a little bit different tomorrow and the next year, and you just
Mm-hmm.
have to adapt because things are always changing in our world and our climate and everything like that.
You know, your life, business is not static. And today will be the slowest day of your life, just so you know, because technology. And that's changing everything so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
AI, what's next? Okay? Like if you look at the changes from 1900 to 1950, and then you go 1950 to 2000, just go 2000 to 225. It's way more than that 100-year segment.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Look at what we're doing, and what do you think's happening next? And people are so afraid of it. Man, they should wait for 5 more years and see what happens. So if you don't start learning it now
It's gonna be
and
crazy.
embracing it and you're afraid of it, there's going to be problems. You know, I don't think everyone's going to... People are like, oh, AI, robots. I'm like, yeah, Terminator, here it comes, right? No, hopefully not, right?
Right.
But we saw the movie, so we know how to survive. But you have to understand it somewhat and just incorporate it. Or
Incorporate. It's supposed to help improve it, make it faster, more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to, it can't do everything.
Oh, okay. So look, all our meetings are done via Google Meet now, no matter what. Even if it's a phone call, why? It's recorded.
It's recorded and they take the notes.
Take the notes. So then the notes are automatically sent to both parties or multiple parties. Okay, so now one of my assistants categorizes my day by my notes, creates bullet points and action items every day for me. It would have been, that's impossible before.
Right.
Or a lot of work because listening, transcribing, now it's all done seconds after the meeting.
Yeah.
Right. And so those action items keep everybody on track. There's even now, I just, for my birthday, my son and family got me that Plod AI. Because so now if we're just sitting down having a meeting, tap it on, same thing happens. So now we don't have to take notes so much, okay? Now we can pay more attention to what's going on instead of, writing. How valuable is that? Very valuable,
Very.
okay? That wasn't even the thought 5 years ago.
Just think how much it helps, like in healthcare settings. I'm thinking how they used to have to transcribe and write and record, and how much it can help in any legal setting. I mean, there's so much things.
Well, a lot of what we do has legal ramifications,
it all
okay?
does.
So that's why we want a clear understanding. A meeting that's transcribed, it's good for both parties. This is your responsibility, this is mine. There's nothing wrong with that, but how fast that can be done today is just, so amazing. And now, thankfully, I don't have to do it because I'd probably be still trying to learn how. They're like, oh,
Right.
this is how you do it. I have a hard time saying a PDF to a Word doc still, so forget it.
I don't
hey,
do that. I
yeah,
send
can
it
you
to
do this?
somebody.
Okay, but we have to know our skill sets, right?
Right.
And so my assistant's like, let me just do this for you. You're not really good at that. I was
Okay.
like, yeah, you're
Oh.
right. I can admit it. I don't have to learn that. I have to do other things, right?
Yes.
We have to remember that.
We can't do everything.
But everyone's not us either. When we hire people to come on our team, you have to remember they're not Colleen.
I know.
It stinks, right?
It does. I want to make, when they can create the little robot, I can get 2 of them, I can get so much more work done.
But then they're going to want to take over your business if they're you. Think about it, right? I mean, the world doesn't need more of me running around like that.
They don't need them.
Okay. You said that.
No, they don't need me. I'm talking about
kidding.
me.
I know.
They don't need 2 more of me, little ones.
Well, he's not little, but it is what it is. So, but the value of bringing on the team, teaching them everything. One, I think people have a scarcity mindset and they're afraid to teach things because they may go elsewhere. So
Right.
what? So what?
They're
But you're
afraid
training
to
your
share,
replacement.
collaborate, because they're afraid they're going to take it from you. But that's not really a good thought.
It's scarcity.
Yeah.
You know how many times I still do it when I see friends post listings, I share it. I used to get, oh, you'll never get anywhere doing that. And I'm like, oh, you're back working out wherever you're working today because you didn't have that different mindset. if you have to have somebody lose for you to win, you've already lost. It's not how it works. It's all on you, basically. No one's coming to save anybody.
Right.
Right? There's no cavalry, it's you. And people don't realize that. I remember in the beginning, I thought there was, like a lot of people, a magic bullet. People weren't showing me something. No. They probably didn't know themselves, one, but it's on me to learn it and figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I also believe that if I'm so busy holding on to everything and not giving it away, knowledge, information, how can I get any more? Okay? People have said, like, I train people to do exactly what I do.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that.
Do they always follow directions?
Or some open-minded, they think.
I don't worry about it because we're training them how to do the one-off spec builds out. We're over here doing completely different things too. But I have to give them here. Now, do they follow directions? Nope. Okay, but I gave you the paperwork. I told you the steps. Yeah, but okay, great. You could give away every secret you have, and it doesn't mean they're going to follow the instructions. Like, think of, you ever bring home IKEA furniture?
Yeah.
Exactly. So imagine
Not doing it.
Yeah, we don't shop at IKEA, right? If someone's not coming to build that for me, don't even buy it.
That's right. We've decided.
My wife has learned. She's like, hey, I'm going to order this, and you're going to build it. Me?
No. They have a service that will come and put it together for you. The best thing. She's
learned that I can break anything, but that putting together part, it's not my thing, right? So but you're in real estate, okay? Not building the houses myself, right? You don't want to see the house I built, let me tell you. I came home one day, I bought her those crazy mirrors that she wanted for her bathroom because I'm not allowed there anymore. It's the lighted ones, you touch it, you wave at it, and lights change and all that, there's double. She's like, yeah, you're going to have to put these in. What? Who? They're electric.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not even going to hang the mirror right because they're heavy. And they sat in boxes for like 2 months. And then finally, I come home one day, the boxes aren't gone. So I'm like, okay, maybe they broke or moved in the garage like everything else. Nope. She called the handyman. The handyman charged whatever it was. They're up on the wall.
It's so much better.
Perfect,
yes.
Right? She's like, yeah, it only took him an hour.
Perfect.
It took you 2 months to decide. It only took him an hour to. Then she told me the price. And then I said to her, what do I charge for an hour of my services?
It was worth it.
And she's like, you would have charged me that? Oh, and more, because it would have took me 10 hours probably, right? And then she understood, like, just because I'm a guy doesn't mean I can do all these things. No.
Right.
But get the right person to do that for you, not me, just because I'm hubby, right?
Yeah.
I can change my oil, I don't do it.
Right.
And what's a better use of my time?
Exactly.
So I haven't changed oil in like 30 years.
Plus, you're not supposed to do that in your driveway at your house.
HOA gets mad.
Yeah. They get very mad.
Yeah.
So what's the last piece of advice that you want to give somebody about mindset and how it can change their lives, having a positive mindset?
It's a journey always. There's never a finish line for that because we can regress so quickly to where we were because it's your brain. We didn't get a new brain, did we?
No.
No, so we have to reprogram ourselves to think differently. It's a journey. Give yourself a break once in a while. Give yourself credit too. I think that if we don't internally look and say, I'm not saying have parades for egos and all that,
yes.
but look at what you've really accomplished and say, wow, that's pretty good. Because, all I've done, I don't give myself enough credit sometimes. Because I look at the down moments. We all have them. It's like, oh, but what about that? Oh, yeah. Or look, coming the way I did, and I've raised some amazing humans out there. And I'm just like, but how did I do that? Credit. Like, they are amazing children. I'm so blessed. But that's with yourselves, too. Like, stop, enjoy things. This is a life journey, right? You're not getting out alive. You don't know when it's going to end. This is a process. Enjoy that process. I'm not sure about you, but for me, I always try to rush to the finish line. When we get to the finish line, there's a new race to run, isn't there?
There's never ends.
Exactly. So this part right here, that journey, enjoy it. Like this time with you, enjoy this time,
right.
Okay? Whatever's next, enjoy it. Even if it's traffic, enjoy it somehow. Because there may be a day where you can enjoy it.
It's true.
Okay? We forget that we are so blessed to be where we are. 90% of the world would switch, if not more. we need to remember that on those crappy mornings, and that, it's the journey, it's continual, it's growth. Tomorrow's going to be the best version of you. It should be. Keep that in mind. Bring yourself around good people too.
Yeah. If they're dragging you, if they're negative, they're going to drag you down.
I always say, I don't want any Eeyores around me, right? Woe is me.
Sad sacks, yeah.
The first person I talk in the morning is one of my assistants. She is the happiest of people. I love that.
I do
because
too.
If there's Eeyore, I'm Tigger. I'm bouncing around. I'm doing, and I have a lot of challenges with family health and all that. That's life. That's part of what we deal with. But when you have people who are just Debbie Downers all day, it's like, really?
It just drains a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm. And so I try to not have them around.
Right.
Because that's it just brings a lot of negativity inside, and that can change a lot of people's mindset. In every crisis, there's an opportunity. How are you looking at something? Look, where I'm here now in manufactured housing is because of the mortgage crisis in 22. Crisis, opportunity. Mm-hmm. If we still had 3% interest rates, I'm probably still flipping and building other places.
It's true.
Okay? Crisis created an opportunity and a business in a void that we filled. But I had to be able to think that way too. And a few years earlier, if I didn't start changing me, I couldn't have done that. Because, we lead organizations, we have to first change ourselves to change others, okay? If we cap out our growth, we're done as a business owner, okay?
Right.
Because as we grow and expand and become better at what we do, we attract more quality people, okay? I always look at it as when we're starting off, we need people to do like Swiss Army knife duties, multiple things. Mm-hmm. And then as we go further along, now we need a scalpel for a role. And that scalpel is better than you and I could be in that role. And we have to be okay with hiring people better than us. I love that because you know what? It's probably something I hate to do anyway, and they're amazing at it.
Right.
Great. Done.
Have at it. Mm-hmm.
But you have to have that ability to think that way and constantly changing, growing your thoughts correctly, and people around you to tell you, hey, dude, you're screwing up, or you're doing great, okay? Like you have to have an inner group of people who you can trust to get good information from, not those shooters on Facebook and social media, right?
Right, they're not your friends.
Right? Mm-hmm. Don't worry about them. That's not just one thing. It's like a capsule of things because it takes all this to move your life along, I believe.
It's true.
Yeah.
To move forward.
That's what we have to do all the time.
So we have to take time out for ourselves each day, even if it's only 30 minutes.
At least, right? If you don't take care of you, how do you take care of others?
To let this go, to be able to start fresh for a new day and deal with the challenges, the problems that we're going to have because they're never going to stop coming at us.
We were doing some changes and growing and everything, and I had to take on a lot more roles. And a week ago, I think it was Wednesday, I just said, stop. It was 1 o'clock. I left the office. I left all the phones there, my work phone, my personal phones, and I was done. I didn't look at them till 8 o'clock the next morning. Mm-hmm. Then that Thursday, I had a meeting with my coach 12 to 1, turned it off again. Same thing on Friday and then all weekend. Monday when I came back, it was a completely different version of me again because I was able to unplug the brain. Mm-hmm. The phones and the computers that come at you so fast, and we're constantly inundated with information and needs and requests.
Yes.
You get overloaded. Mm-hmm. And today, 1 o'clock, we're heading to Tampa, the wife and I, for the weekend. And we're going to put the phone away. You know what? If there's an emergency, they'll find me. Because you know what they'll do? They'll call my wife if it's really bad. Okay?
They'll hunt you down.
Okay. But why look at it? Right? Take a break. I'm not good at that. Like, I'm not a person who needs a lot of rest. I joke about retirement. What job will I be doing in retirement? Because I don't think myself as a retirement guy. Mm-hmm. But, we have to rest too.
Yeah.
And last week was a reminder of that. Because I ended up in the hospital the week before with a blood pressure issue.
Oh, jeez.
And you know what? He's like, dude, you're 195. You shouldn't have blood pressure issues. I'm like, are you married? He's like, yeah. He's like, say no more. But it wasn't her. That was just a joke, right? I didn't know there was a hypertensive emergency, it's called. You get a shot.
Oh, I have it all the time, but.
Yeah, no, in the shot. And they're like, hey, we're going to let you go. We're going to put you upstairs. This is the hospital that killed my mom. So I was like, hey, I'm not going upstairs. You killed her. I knew they wouldn't let me drive home, and I drove there. Told them I was calling an Uber. I did, because they watch. Had the Uber drive me around the block and then drop me off in my truck. Because what am I going to do? Like Uber home and then Uber back? No, I went home, went to sleep, and then I started to like, what are we going to fix this with, right? Because the business isn't worth my health, but who's going to take care of not just the business, but my family then, right? I did the business to have more time with them, not have it kill me.
Who sent you to the hospital?
Me. I was home. I didn't go on vacation with my family because things needed to be worked on.
Oh.
Right? Because, we're a mortgage company that knew this and knew that. I thought I should just stay and do that, and I was wrong. Okay? That will never happen again. That's what we decided to. That's why we're not working together either.
Your health told you otherwise, yep.
Yeah, well, my daughter's pissed. Oh, man. She, little 8-year-old girl, was not happy with it. I even gave her one of my phones to bring, and she's like, I'm still mad at you. And I was like, okay. But, I don't get that week back with her. Mm-mm. Or him, right? So we're never going to do that again.
If you're 8 feet under, you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be really mad at you.
I know, right? So, that was a good wake-up call. Like, we should all not have him like that, but have him. And then I sat down with my coach, my life coach, mentor, whatever he is, and he was like, hey, we talked, and then we said, on this day we're going to talk. He just gave it he said, let's wait over here. Because we let some, and he's, you know why we put it off a week? I'm like, why? He's like, I was going to tell you to fire everybody, and I would have that day. Because we were both in the mindset to just, what's that song, Let It Burn, Let It Burn, and we were in a better place together. And then we plotted and planned really quickly over an hour. And the great thing about having a good coach is there's multiple people who do it. One of them is flying in on the 20th to spend a day with me just to spend a day to hang out and see what's going on. When I say you hire the right coach, you hire the right coach, because that's not part of the program. Flying in, spending a day with me one-on-one, because he's going to help me become better at what I do, no matter what. And then what does that translate to? Everyone else gets down the line, gets better. Okay? Because I'm learning and growing with them all the time.
And making sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, they were mad. Oh.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
There you go. Well, that was awesome.
Well, thank you for talking about my favorite subject, either mindset or 8-year-old girls, right? So,
They're both good topics.
I came home, my birthday the other day, my daughter had like 5 of her girls' friends in the house. Mm-hmm. I love the noise. My wife hates it. And they all made me handmade cards and everything. Aww. And so I got a great picture. I'll show it to you. It's like all the kids over me, right? That was a great birthday for me. Because, they're in the house. That's lost today in America. Like the kids hanging out.
Right.
And now they're all going to be going to the same school. Yeah, you know how little girls are. It's like little boys will be fighting for sure. They just be throwing punches. But they're the neighborhood now, because there's 3 next door, 2 around the corner, and 1 down the street. And I don't know how, whatever, my daughter's like, hey, can everyone come over? I'm like, sure. I like it there, right?
Yeah.
I can.
You can watch.
I can watch. Like when my son, before COVID, the world changed, same thing. I would let all his, there was 5 or 6 of these kids, sleepovers all the time. Mm-hmm. Water guns, water balloons, what are we doing? My wife's like, what did you buy them? I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I think I was more of a kid than they did. Like we'd go look at the water guns. I'm like, oh yeah, those are kind of cool. I'm gonna get one for me too. Mm-hmm. Because we don't see that in America anymore, right? It's all video games and computers, and we don't know what happens anymore then, right? When they log into that screen and they get sucked in.
It's true. They don't play outside. They don't do a lot, so they need to get out, get off these phones and the computers.
So my daughter has not maxed out screen time once this summer because she's playing so much.
Oh, wow. Good for her.
I love that.
Me too.
And they get tired. Running
around. It's healthier for them. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love it. keep them outside running around. They sleep better. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You know,
Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, the Ice Cream Man comes in our neighborhood still. like the olden days.
No, that's great. Yeah. They haven't come in my neighborhood in a while.
So our guy has an app, and now he has a store downtown.
Oh, geez, he's really stepped
And
it
we
up.
know where he is every Saturday too. We have that lakefront park, downtown Claremont. He pulls up 12 to 5 there with his Mr. Softy ice cream truck.
Oh.
And this dude is anybody but Mr. Softy, but he's the nicest guy. Got the beard. He's a big, muscular guy. But he gave my daughter her first ice cream cone ever, and still remembers.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like, to me, he remembers, hey, how's your little girl doing? And it's like, okay, and how's the big kid doing? Because he's not so little anymore, right? He's bigger than me. To me, that matters, right? I remember the guy. Now, we haven't been to his store, but I hear it's like 10 times the flavors in the truck. So if I go, I figure the kids are going to kill me. Because there's just like ice cream every.
You have to take them.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank
Chats
you.
with Colleen today instead of in layman's terms.
Yeah, thank you.
All the questions, great mindset. It's, the most important topic for someone who wants to grow in this business or just life. Because stinking thinking changes you.
It definitely does.
All right, everybody. Hey, Chats with Colleen today. Okay, thank you, and we'll
Check
see you
out
next
Tom.
time.
Thank you.